The Korean Liberation Army, established on September 17, 1941 in Chongqing, China, was the armed force of the Provisional Government of the Republic of Korea. Its commandant was General Ji Cheong-cheon, with General Lee Beomseok, a hero of the Battle of Cheongsanri and future Prime Minister of South Korea, as the Chief of Staff, effectively a part of the Chinese forces upon which it was dependent. The army was limited by available manpower and did not get much above 1,000 strong. Early days. The KLA brought together many Korean guerrilla armies that proliferated in northern Korea, Manchuria and mainland China during the 1920s. After the declaration of war by the Provisional Government against Japan and Germany on December 9, 1941, the units of the KLA participated on the Allied side in the Chinese and Southeast Asian theaters. The regulation regarding the activities of the Korean Liberation Army, imposed by the Chinese nationalist government upon the Provisional Government in 1941, placed the KLA under the supreme authority of the Commander-in-Chief of the Chinese Army. This regulation was repealed in 1944, after the Provisional Government had achieved improved financial standing and greater importance in the eyes of the Chinese government. The KLA was not idle during this period. The KLA sent troops to fight alongside British soldiers in the Southeast Asian theatre of World War II, including the outskirts of Burma and India. In 1943, socialist-aligned guerrilla groups joined the KLA, and their leader, General Kim Won-bong, became the deputy commandant of the KLA. Its numbers were continuously boosted by the influx of Koreans escaping from the Japanese army and through the recruitment of Koreans living in China. From its humble beginnings with an officer corps of 30 men at its foundation in 1941, the KLA grew to a substantial force with almost 1,000 in active service by the end of the war. Thousands more were recruitable in Manchuria and mainland China. End of the war. In 1945, the KLA was working in cooperation with the U.S. Office of Strategic Services to train men for specialist military operations within Korea. The leading units were due to depart on August 20, with General Lee in command. However, the aspiration of the KLA to play a significant role in the liberation of Korea from Japanese occupation was not fulfilled, as Japan unconditionally surrendered to the Allies on August 15. 3 days later, a helicopter carrying 20-odd members of the KLA landed in Seoul, only to be forced back by the Japanese military, which refused to surrender until U.S. military forces arrived. Post-war, the members of the KLA returned to Korea during late 1945 and 1946. Many of its members, including Generals Ji and Lee, became part of the South Korean government, while General Kim contributed to the North Korean regime of Kim Il-sung, who himself claimed to have been a KLA commander. There has been a movement in South Korea for years to change the National Armed Forces Day from October 1 to September 17 in honor of the foundation of the Korean Liberation Army in 1941. Army ranks: General, Lieutenant General, Major General, Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel, Major, Captain, First Lieutenant, Second Lieutenant, Warrant Officer, Master Gunnery Sergeant, Master Sergeant, Sergeant First Class, Staff Sergeant, Corporal, Private First Class, Private.